Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
You're watching South Asia Newsline and have the top stories we are tracking for you on Monday, the 11th of December. India's top court upholds abrogation of Article 370, says special status was temporary. Pakistan's former PM Naas Sharif wants better ties with India. And UN agency warns of Afghans dying in harsh winters if no proper shelter provided. And now for all the details. India's Supreme Court on Monday termed the special status of Jammu and Kashmir as temporary as it upheld the validity of the government decision to abrogate Article 370. The top court pronouncing the verdict said Article 370 was an interim arrangement due to war conditions in the state which was meant for integration and not disintegration. The state of Jammu and Kashmir had no sovereignty when it joined India, the apex court said. The top court in its verdict also directed authorities to conduct elections in the federally administered region by September 30th next year.
आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ये फैसला ऐतिहासिक फैसला आया है। आज के बाद मुझे लगता है 35 और 370 के पक्ष में जो दलीलें दी जा रही थी वो सब दलीलें बेमानी हो गई हैं। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है कि जो राष्ट्रपति ने फैसला लिया था वो फैसला बिल्कुल सही है। जो 35 हटाने का फैसला लिया, जो 370 हटाने का फैसला लिया, बिल्कुल सही लिया फैसला। जो उन्होंने यूनियन टेरिटरी बना दिया जम्मू कश्मीर को, वो फैसला भी ठीक है, उसमें कोई कमी नहीं है।
Reacting to the judgment, Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed the verdict and said the apex court decision was not just a legal judgment but a beacon of hope and a testament to the government's resolve to build a stronger, united India. Taking to X, Home Minister Amit Shah also praised the decision and said the verdict by the top court proves the government decision was constitutional. However, former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Ghulam Nabi Azad said he was disappointed by the verdict.
It is unfortunate, but everybody has to accept the decision of the Supreme Court with a heavy heart. And unfortunately, we didn't expect this decision. We were thinking that the Supreme Court will consider the sentiments of the people of Jammu Kashmir and also the historical background under which Article 370 was incorporated in the Constitution of the state and in the Constitution of India. That will be taken into consideration. That was our hope, but unfortunately that has not happened.
Moving on the 8th day of winter session of the Parliament, Home Minister Amit Shah on Monday introduced the Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Amendment Bill and Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Amendment Bill in Rajya Sabha. The bills have already been passed in Lok Sabha. The Act provides for reservation in jobs and admission in professional institutions to members of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other socially and educationally backward classes. The second week of Parliament began after witnessing some significant businesses in both the houses and ended with the expulsion of Maua Moitra after the ethics panel tabled its report probing unethical conduct by her in the cash for query case. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Naas Sharif has expressed his intention to normalize Pakistan's ties with its neighboring countries, particularly India, if voted to power in elections slated to be held in February. The three-time Prime Minister called for improving ties with New Delhi, which were downgraded following the removal of Indian-held Kashmir's autonomous status in 2019. While speaking to ticket aspirants of his party, Nawaz recalled that during his government's tenures, two Indian Prime Ministers, Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Narendra Modi in 2015 had visited Pakistan just a few months before the Kargil war began. Nawaz Sharif also said that he was ousted by former military chief of Pakistan, Pervez Musharraf, for opposing the Kargil war. Pakistan's continuous attempts to infiltrate Indian territory with terrorists have been the reason for unfriendly relations. The UN Refugee Agency on Monday warned that Afghans who have recently migrated from Pakistan to Afghanistan could die in harsh winters if they don't get adequate shelter. Almost 500,000 Afghans have left Pakistan since early October when the Islamabad government announced it would arrest and deport them. The overwhelming majority of them are from neighboring Afghanistan, though Islamabad insists the policy doesn't target a specific nationality. The forced returns are piling pressure on Afghanistan and aid agencies, which are providing the bulk of essential services like healthcare. Freezing temperatures are setting in and conditions at the border remain dire. Islamabad has not heeded calls from international bodies and refugee agencies to reconsider its deportation plans. Days after Pashtun Tahaffuz movement leader Manzoor Pashtun was sent to police remand by an anti-terrorism court in Islamabad, PTM members have lambasted Pakistani military, accusing it of restraining their freedom of expression. Pashtun had been arrested in Balochistan after his security guards allegedly clashed with the police and opened fire, a charge PTM has denied. A member of the organization, Fazlur Rahman Afridi, said they don't believe in Pakistani judiciary, which he stressed is compromised under the Pakistan military establishment. Accusing the Pakistani army of war crimes and enforced disappearance, Rahman said Pakistan doesn't deserve to be a member of the United Nations as its military is involved in crimes against humanity. He said that PTM will continue its struggle until the release of PTM chief Manzoor Ahmad Pashtun.
Manzoor Pashtun was arrested arbitrarily and presented before the kangaroo courts of Pakistan, which are compromised under the boot of Pakistani military establishment. We don't believe in these courts and we don't believe in the Pakistani system, and we will continue our struggle till the end until Manzoor Pashtun is released.
Sri Lanka was hit by a nationwide power outage last weekend, sending residents to grapple with the loss of electricity by working and studying in the dark. Some shopkeepers kept their business going by working under dim candlelight, while people at a tuition center were seen sitting in a dark classroom. Local media reports suggested that power supply to several areas is being restored in the island nation. Sri Lanka largely depends on hydropower for power generation, while coal and oil are used to cover the balance. During the dry season, the country compelled to use more thermal power for the generation of electricity. Scores of Hindu devotees in Nepal observed the Bala Chaturdashi festival and offered lamps in remembrance of their deceased family members. The festival is believed to provide salvation to the departed souls. Take a look.
Hindu devotees in Nepal camped up near the Pashupatinath temple on Sunday as they stayed awake throughout the night, lighting oil-fed lamps and praying for the salvation of departed soul on Bala Chaturdashi festival. Observed on the 13th day of waning moon of Mangasir, devotees maintain strict fasting as they chant hymns and prayers to Lord Shiva all night long. The ritual ends the next morning as they float live lamps in rivers and start their journey around the Pashupatinath temple premises, spreading 7 kinds of grains along the way.
यो वर्षको एकचोटी छरिन्छ बाला चतुर्दशीमा एकदम मरेका पितृहरूको लागि चाहिँ आत्मा दिवंगत आत्मा चिर शान्तिको लागि चाहिँ पितृहरू चाहिँ स्वर्गवास होस्, जन्मिनु मर्नु नपरोस् भनेर एउटा हाम्रो हिन्दू धर्म अनुसार आस्था चलन हो.
If myths are to be believed, a trader Balananda who visited Pashupati became demon-like and he was killed by his friend Bhishma Simha on people's request. Filled with remorse, he prayed to Lord Pashupatinath, who guided him to perform the holy ritual, which was later named as Bala Chaturdashi.
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.
Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.